just hear in my head the guy going, whoa. That was a really bad version of it, but whatever.
Cole, make that the cold open.
Yeah, let's clip that.
Let's clip that.
Oh, wow.
Mark Cromby Weebs, my name is Cole, his name is Mike, his name is Jay, we like anime, and this is episode... 50! It's episode 50, we did it. And today we are talking about 3x3s. You know, 3x3. It's, you know what it is. And we're also doing...
Pitching.
Yes, we're also doing a retrospective about our favorite moments on the Anime Protagonist podcast, which is what you're listening to right now. Did we mention it's episode 50?
Hey,
Jay, it's episode 50. I want to know what is on your mind for 50 episodes.
Wow, 50 whole episodes.
50 whole episodes.
Jay's
the only one who's actually done 50 episodes.
Yeah,
so.
true.
It's
Very
my
true.
50th episode. Everyone else is doing like 49 or so.
God, he's such an elitist, eh, Cole?
I know. I just wanted to get that out there before he said it.
Yeah, exactly.
I wasn't going to even bring it up.
Okay.
Yeah. That was your next thing out of your mouth.
Yeah.
No, the next thing out of my mouth was Pokemon's on my mind.
Oh.
That's like
of
all I've
course.
been thinking about for the past like couple days. It's been taking over my entire life.
It's your hyperfixation lately, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah. And I mean, like, can you blame me? It's so cool. Pokemon's great. The new one is good.
It hasn't
So
come
cool.
out yet. Well, I mean, it did come out when you're listening to this, but
Yeah, but we can't
He's
talk about.
he's speaking from the future, Mike.
yeah.
Or the past, or he's
present?
speaking in
Jay's speaking right
to
now
a microphone.
from a time. Yeah.
Yep.
From a time.
From a time.
unbeknownst. Yeah. So
But
who's on your team then? I know you made your team already. Who's on your team?
I did make my team. So my planned team. I guess I got to open this now. We got Quaxley for the starter.
Okay.
Then
Always
we're gonna
water type. Oh, famously always a water type trainer.
I always go water.
Yeah.
So before I go into my full team, actually, do you care about Pokemon spoilers?
I don't know because the game's already out when we're talking right now, right?
Yeah.
Jay, you know that I never care about spoilers, but I
Okay.
do care about Pokemon spoilers.
What a heel
okay.
turn.
Yeah. What a.
So I'll just plug my ears while you tell me your team. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go like this. La 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 la
As
la
I
la
mute
la
Cole.
la.
Cole is muted. There
Okay,
we go.
and I just went through my
Nice.
whole team.
Nice
It's a
try.
pretty good team, huh?
No, tell us your team.
Yeah, it's
okay,
pretty crazy
so-
that you have 6 Psyducks on your team.
I know, right? Famously a water trainer.
Psy.
No, but so we're starting with Quaxley, and it's going to become a water fighting type. So that'll be a good Pokemon.
Okay.
Then we got Armarouge, the Mega Man looking Pokemon from Pokemon Scarlet.
You're
got
going to have
Pokemon
that on your
Scarlet.
team right from day one?
Yeah.
You're a wild man.
Yeah. The new version of Tentacool, but it's not actually Tentacool, called Toadschool.
What?
Which
There's
is
a new
a-
version of Tentacool?
Yeah,
Oh, that's sick. I saw there's a new version of Donphan.
there is,
Yeah.
but it's a completely different version of Donphan and a completely different kind of thing than the different version of Tentacool.
Oh, so you got a Tentatoad or whatever the heck you said there?
Toadschool.
Toad School, okay.
It's a grass ground type, so basically
cool.
Torterra. We got the evolved form of Bisharp called King Gambit. We got a new Pokemon called Glimora, which is a rock poison type, and Baxcalibur, the new pseudo-legendary, in a Dragon Ice type.
I am whelmed right now because I don't know who most of those guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, thoroughly whelmed.
Yeah.
I have never been more whelmed in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this would make a lot more sense to any of you who actually know Gen 9 Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like Mike in
like
a
month.
couple days. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting it.
Yeah, Cole's getting it. True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Do
I
you,
mean, I've already gotten it.
Yeah, you've already gotten it.
I have what?
If you want to talk, we need to stop talking about the time
Cole,
things. It's
how
messing
many
us
gym
up.
badges do you have?
All of them, but also none of them. But also two
You have
of them.
Two? What's your team so far?
He's got the dink and the doink badge.
Yes. I have a team, and it is a team of pocket monsters.
Yeah.
You're starting with the fire type, right? Or you started with the fire type, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
Can we move on from this?
We can't move on because Mike, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind? Well, boys, I'm so sorry.
I'm listening.
But I just got back from watching One Piece Film Red.
You went without me?
You went without me?
First of all, Cole, you don't like One Piece. Second of all, I went without you, Jay, because it was a date with Shazana.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know.
Boo.
Disgusting.
Boo.
Yeah. Boo, hiss, etc. It was really good. I knew it was going to be a musical. There are definitely, it's like a musical. Because I've seen a lot of people online saying like they're mad that it has a lot of like, it's a musical more or less. Like it has a lot of songs and singing and stuff. But like Uta, I'm pretty sure that means song in Japanese. She ate the sing fruit. Like the whole thing is about, it's about singing. Like what do you expect? She's going to sing a lot.
Yeah.
Cole is flabbergasted right now.
Cole's like,
my mouth is
I think
open.
I should get into One Piece.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Honestly, it's a good movie. You could definitely watch it not knowing anything about One Piece, and you'd probably be at least whelmed with it. It's fun. It's I don't know, I'm all whelmed today.
Mike's word of the day.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Whelmed.
It definitely was like 7 to 8 out of 10, I'd say. Like it's good. You know what I mean?
Did you get spoiled?
By what?
There were some spoilers in Film Red.
I'm not
stuff
sure
you
what
hadn't seen yet.
to which you're referring to, but probably something that I've seen already. If it's involving like a transformation involving one of the main characters.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, I hear people being like, "That's huge spoilers. You can't watch it when you knowing that." But it's like, it's just a transformation. Who cares? Second of all, I don't know why I said A and then 2, but whatever.
Classic numbering scheme.
Yeah, A, 2.
Yeah.
And then when you get to Delta here, it's really like, at the end of the day, like, how can you, it's like I got spoiled on Snake Man a long time ago, and it didn't change my enjoyment of One Piece at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like getting spoiled on another transformation really doesn't change anything. And it's like basically unavoidable to get spoiled on it too, because people post pictures and art of it all the time.
Yeah. And it's not like something ridiculous like, oh, Sanji died or something.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a transformation. It's whatever. It'll be hype when it happens still. It still hasn't happened, I don't think, in the anime anyway, so it's...
By the way,
kind of weird.
Anime only, Sanji didn't die, don't worry.
In the anime.
No, in the manga too. Mike's upset because I spoiled something for him.
I don't know what's going on.
Mike's
when you guys
brain
whisper, I
is
can't really hear you as well, so it's kind of like...
fried. Well,
yeah.
You'll have to listen to this episode when it comes out.
Yes.
To find out what we said.
And I have a second thing that's on my mind that I'm going to quickly bring up too.
Ooh.
We went to Chapters right after the movie, and in the parking lot when we came back out, Jay, listen, I have a life outside of you. I can do things on my own.
No, you don't. You live for this podcast.
But yeah, we went into there. We didn't buy anything because we just didn't see anything that we really wanted. We were looking for Hunter Volume 3 because they've been re-releasing those. Those are nice to get. But we didn't end up seeing anything we really wanted, so we go out. And there was like another car waiting they were like idling next to our vehicle.
Okay.
And one thing about me that everybody needs to know, this is essential for the lore of this story. I always park super far away, and I park so that no one is next to me because I don't want door dings. So I don't mind walking. I just park really far away, and I park in spots where there's no one within like 2 spots of me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get back out, there's of course a car parked right next to me, and I'm like, oh, of course there's a car right next to me. And I notice that's weird. They're sitting in there and they're like looking at us. So as I'm like walking up to get in the car, they like start talking to us out the window. They roll down their window, and they're like, hey, did you ding my door on my car? And I'm like, no, I definitely did not. And then Shazana started freaking out and getting really mad because that's her instant reaction. She's a podcast villain. She's a villain.
She is a big villain, yeah.
She was definitely out for blood. But anyway, the moral of the story is this guy was basically telling me, listen, I've got like witnesses. People saw you hit my car door. He actually had like a big like scratch on his door that looked like where someone dinged it or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he's like trying to tell me that I did it. I'm like, listen, we've been in Chapters for like the Chapters are a local bookstore, by the way. We've been in there for like 30 minutes looking at stuff. When I parked here because there was no one beside me. You're high. Like I don't know what you're talking about. There's no way I hit your door. And he's like, well, I'm gonna have to file a hit and run with the police, or I'm just gonna have to go through blah blah blah. And I'm like, our insurance stuff, and I'm like, go ahead. I didn't hit your door. Have fun. And then yeah. And then Shazana wanted to fight the guy, and I'm like, let's just go, like, just whatever. The guy's clearly trying to scam us. So the moral of the story is, I Googled it after, and it's apparently a common scam. So if someone comes and tries to convince you that you damaged their car when you clearly did not, just leave. Just leave. They're trying to scam you. They're trying to get you to basically like, they'll basically say, oh no, I'm going to go file a hit and run, or you can give me $100 and then we're clear.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't fall for it.
Don't be a sucker.
Don't be a sucker. Michael totally paid that guy $100.
I totally paid him $100 to make him go away. I was so scared. But yeah,
Shazana didn't want to fight him. She was scared and was begging you to pay him the $100.
Oh no, I had to calm her down. She was really mad. She was like, that guy was lying. I hate liars. And I'm like, but like, he's clearly lying. Like, it's comical how dumb he thought we were.
Yeah.
Like, what? There's someone filming in a parking lot? Like, no.
Yeah. Go ahead. Put the claim in then.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a hit and run. Like, what,
buddy?
What are they gonna do? They're gonna track me down and arrest me because you have a door ding on your car?
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck with that.
Silliness.
Yeah, silliness. Cole, what's on your mind?
I watched a guy go to a grocery store, buy a lobster, and then make it a pet. And it's fascinating.
How did you? What?
There's a series of series of videos on YouTube of a guy. The first video is I'm keeping a grocery store lobster as a pet, and it turns into like this like amazing story of like how this guy just like found this lobster and rescued it, and it's just nice and sweet, and it's very inspiring. That guy
what did he name the lobster?
Leon the lobster.
Nice. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's good. He kind of like goes in. He's like, all of us have like hurt in our lives and stuff like that, but look at this lobster. It also had hurt, and now it's fine and it's thriving. Yeah, it's neat. It's very cool. Watching this lobster like go from like being unable to like even open its claws because it's had rubber bands wrapped around him for so long, to like being a healthy, thriving lobster who likes to eat things.
Well, I mean, you're both red, so I gotta say you are a couple of lobsters.
Yeah. Week 2 of wearing red. Jay did not get the memo once again. I'm sorry to report to everyone.
Yeah. I don't own any red shirts.
Well, it's time.
It's kind of a mistake, actually. Red's a good color to wear. It's kind of sends off like very fierce vibes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it sends off aggressive vibes.
Red just doesn't look good on me, like in general.
I don't know if that'd be true, actually, Jay. I'm like looking at me and Cole wearing our red right now, and I could just picture you wearing red. I think it'd look good.
No, I don't know. I've worn red shirts before, and it just didn't look good.
Jay puts it on.
I didn't like it.
Oh, this is disgusting. Oh God.
I will also say what else is on my mind this week. I went out and I bought an electric drum set.
Like a drum set that plays itself?
No, like a drum set that is electric, so I can play it without disturbing my roommates.
Nice.
But then what's the point?
What do you mean?
Well, what's the point if you're not going to be disturbing people? Why are you playing the drums?
Oh, Jay's doing this thing where he's just being argumentative.
No, I'm just being silly.
He gets in these moods where he just argues with everything.
I'm not arguing. I'm just being silly.
As he argues.
See what we got to put up with, listeners.
As Cole argues back. Three argue boys. Yeah, 3 argumentative boys.
Look at Cole arguing. And then Mike joins in to argue for a third time.
Yeah. No, you know what my thing is? It's honestly, I let other people argue and I just sit on the fence and just like eat popcorn and watch. That's my favorite thing. I like to just like sit just outside the argument and just like slowly throw like grenades in there or gas.
That's a very strong argument, Mike.
Yeah.
That's a very Mike move. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I just like to just poke it. Just poke fan the flames a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, boys, as we've talked before, what's on our mind, we've made it to 50 episodes. Can you guys believe it?
No.
No, not really, actually. The amount of times that Jay specifically has threatened to quit this podcast, it's amazing.
It's immeasurable. Literally more than 50 times. He says it at least 3 times after each episode.
I say it every episode, yeah.
It's like during the break, he'll be like, that's it. After this second half, I'm quit. I'm done.
Yeah.
And then I'm the one who's been in the most episodes.
Yeah. I can't handle how you guys tease me every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Tease you for what?
Yeah, Michael, what are we teasing you about?
No, I'm being Jay. I'm saying with Jay in Jay's mind.
But you're Michael.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I'm too dumb for you to tease me because I don't even know what you're talking about, and then it's no fun for you.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
What do you guys say?
You're too smart for our dumb remarks.
Could be true.
Yeah.
Should we let Cole intro this next segment, do you think, Jay?
Yeah. Okay, Mike. No, I'm joking.
Okay, Cole.
No.
Okay. Cole, go ahead. Jay, what's up?
Oh, no. 50 episodes we've made it to. And now we're going to talk about our favorite moments from our 50 episodes. Well, my 49 episodes. I think my favorite episode for sure was the One Piece episode that I wasn't in. You know why that was the best one?
Why? Because you love One Piece so much?
Because I didn't have to listen to my stupid voice.
Did you actually listen to that episode? Like in hindsight?
Not even a little bit.
I was going to say, I'd be surprised if you did.
No, I listened to a little bit of it. You guys did a good job without me.
He listened up to the main topic and then he stopped.
No, I just kind of skimmed through it.
You did your thing where you just like click through it and don't really listen to any of it?
I gave us the view.
Nice. Appreciate it.
Okay, well, Jay, we'll start with you.
What
do you want to say as your favorite moment?
Did you say what we're even doing?
Yeah. A retrospective of episode 5 of the podcast.
No,
he did say it in our intro. He did say it at the very beginning.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking about moments that we really liked in the podcast and things like that. And I guess it's my turn, so I will talk about our breakup letters because I really like doing that.
Oh yeah, those were fun.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
we need to do more. Like those are kind of like labor-intensive episodes, but I think we should do more of them. They're fun.
Yeah, it was just so much fun to get really creative and think of how to, both personify but not personify shows.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I was also able to that was one where you can really ham it up,
Mm-hmm.
Reading your letter, you could really just act like you're really emotional about it or something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is fun doing that rather than just dryly talking. That can be
just like a 3x3. Like who would do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or just totally unprompted talking about yourselves.
Yeah.
For 15 minutes.
Come on.
Who wants to hear that?
I think probably one of my favorite things that the listeners probably almost for sure don't know about is how I joined the podcast and how basically episode 5 or 6 maybe you guys asked me, hey, do you want to be a guest this week? And then I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And then they were like, hey, do you want to come back this week too? During the next week? And then I was like, okay, yeah. And then the next week they're like, hey, how'd you like to be a guest on this week's episode? And I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, sure. Yeah. And I already planned to be on it. And then one more, wait, no.
We're not
and
done
then
yet.
episode 8 rolls around and you guys are like, hey, how would you like to be a guest on this episode? Now that you've been on half of the episodes, I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. I already had it in my calendar.
Yeah.
Episode 9 rolls around.
Yeah.
I get the text. Hey, you're coming back this week, right? As a guest? I'm like, sure. Yeah, okay. And then anyway, the long story short, we get to episode I think it was 11. You guys are finally like, yeah, Mike has officially joined the podcast.
Yeah, Mike's officially an official.
I'm sure you guys,
the text. Cole just messages me and he's like, so we're gonna make Mike an official host, right? And I'm like, yeah. Sure.
Kind of makes sense.
Kind of makes sense.
Just knowing the way things work behind the scenes here, I'm sure it was deliberations between you two where you both had thought this for a long time and then didn't want to say anything to each other for because you were too nervous. So you're like,
here's the thing. So before we even started doing the podcast all together, Cole texted me and he's like, we should get a third person. And I text him back, and I'm like, why don't we get your friend Mike? Like, I didn't know you that well at the time, so like,
No,
I mean,
yeah.
but I was like, why don't we get your friend Mike? I'm sure he'd love to be on. And Cole was like, I don't know if he'd want to be on. Might not be that great of a.
Might
like,
not be a
'cause
very good co-host.
Yeah.
He might just
he's
kind of.
totally.
You
kind
also
of an
don't
idiot.
know. You also don't know Mike that well, so I don't know how you're like how you'll do together. So
He
No, it was
watches
like-
dubbed anime.
Yeah,
it's
he
kind of
watches
lame.
dubs. It's kind of a dork.
So I was like,
Has
okay,
glasses.
sure, whatever. And then
So we start the podcast
so
with
we
two of us.
with the two of us,
Yeah.
and then 6
Record a
episodes
3-hour
in,
episode.
yeah,
Ugh.
record a 3-hour episode. Then 6 episodes in, I hear from Cole, we got a guest this week. I'm like, oh, who? It's you know my friend Mike, right? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's not how he said it. It was probably more like, what?
Let's have no. It was let's have Mike on. Let's do an episode about dubs. And Cole's
Yeah.
friend, my friend Mike. Cole's friend Mike. Sorry, that was another.
That's
thing.
my name. That's my name in your fantasy league, your office fantasy
Mm-hmm.
league. So it's fair.
Yeah. And then we decided to invite Mike on, and I was hesitant to invite Mike on as permanent in my defense because like Mike and I have been friends for so long, and I didn't want to like make Jay feel like he was kind of the third wheel. But I think we did it the right way. Jay and I started it.
Stringing me
I
along
do
for
that
a long
anyway.
time. It's the
I
right
feel like
way.
a third wheel anyway, so we'll roll with it.
Jay and
you know
Jay and I started it, and Mike's the new guy.
Yeah.
But Mike's also an old friend of mine. So if anyone's the third wheel here, it's me.
How?
Yeah. What?
What?
No, I agree. You guys
I
I think you guys did it a good way. So like honestly, I like Cole's. I think the center host as I'm like looking at our screen right now, and you're in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then me and Jay kind of like formed around you. I would guess, or I would say.
Mhm. Yeah.
But like
Mm-hmm.
now, I would just say Jay is my friend. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
but because of the
Aw.
podcast, we are friends.
Oh,
And Cole and me
that's
are not friends anymore.
sweet.
Jay's replaced
That's
him.
so sweet. When I think of the podcast and thinking back on 50 episodes, I'll talk about like some of my favorite episodes. But to start with, I just like to think about like how it started. You know, with
No, I don't know.
Jay was hanging out at my place, and I always give Jay
On
a
the
ride
floor.
home.
Yep.
I famously do not drive.
Jay does not drive famously.
Leeches rides from people. Yeah.
So I was driving him home, and we're listening to Cole's. What's my playlist called?
I think it's your
Cole's
Annie
Annie
songs.
songs.
Yeah.
Yes, Cole's
Annie
Annie
songs.
songs. And I just said to Jay, like, oh, what if we did a podcast? And Jay shot it down.
No. You texted that to me, I think.
Okay, yeah. I did text it to you
you
initially because that's true. I wouldn't bring it up in person. I'm too cowardly.
Especially because
It's
like
true.
we
It's true.
we
It's
weren't
true.
like as good friends when you brought it up to me. Like we were still getting to know each other. So like I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like I mean, I just met this person.
I asked you twice. That first time was quite early.
Yeah.
But then the second time I asked you, like we hung out and stuff like that. Like we were friends, I would say, by that point. And you were kind of more hesitant about it, just like, you know, diving into something like that is a little nerve-wracking for anxious people like you and I.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, and we're like, yeah, okay, maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe doing an anime podcast would be a horrible, horrible decision, and we shouldn't do it. And then, like, maybe a week or two later, in hindsight, I do regret it. And a week or two later, you're like, let's try it. So then we bought some mics, and we went to my place, and we recorded the first ever episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, which cannot be found anywhere. And for good reason.
Remember the like unaired pilot we never put out? Like
it was unreleasable.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just
wait,
bad.
what? I've actually never heard of this. What happened?
Oh, it was episode 0. Like we were doing a test recording, and we're like, what if we just like release this as like
episode 0?
Episode 0.
Oh, you guys have crazy ideas. It's like, hey, what if we recorded an episode where all our mics were out of sync?
Yeah, and that's what we did, and it was really bad. And then episode 1, we're like, man, no, we got it done. We've got it. We know what we're doing. So we record episode 1. The first half, I think, was about an hour and a half.
It was very long because we like extensively covered the PlayStation Showcase.
Because we don't know how, like, at the time, we didn't know how to, like, pace ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Like, we were just talking, and we did the whole PlayStation Showcase that happened, I guess last fall.
Yeah. It was September sometime.
Yeah, and then we did the other half, which was the original 3x3. We each did a 3x3.
Yes.
Which is kind of like why we're doing that this time, right?
It's kind of a throwback. It's an homage to episode 1. Yeah. And the episode was 3 hours long.
Of course.
The edit of it was one of the most stressful things I've done in my life.
Didn't you famously text Jay, like, I don't know if I can do this?
He did. He absolutely did. He texted me and he's like, I don't know if I'll be able to get this done. I'm like, the entire time I was just like, because I didn't have a computer, I was just like, I felt so bad because there was just nothing I could do to help him. So I was just sending him like GIFs and emojis and videos trying to make him feel better.
Trying to got it out.
I can tell you're struggling, buddy. Here's a GIF of an anime girl dancing.
It helps. It does help.
It's true. It's just funny.
And yeah, the episode was the first episode was with the 3 original hosts, me, Jay, and Jay's room echo.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about Room Echo.
I think Room Echo still does make an appearance in our current like lineup of episodes.
There's a little, it definitely does.
Like episode 11, I think it was still in there. But yeah, that's mostly what I'd like to touch on in our retrospective here is the pain that this anime podcast has caused me. Truly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything else before I say maybe some of my favorite episodes?
Maybe you lead into that and then we'll kind of bounce off it, I think.
Okay. I really enjoy, and I wish that we would do this again, our first episode where we had a guest who wasn't Michael. We had Duck Crumbs on, and we did the OPs episode.
Yeah,
which just like scratched every itch possible for me. I love OPs. I love music, and to have a whole episode based on it. Oh,
we are due for another one. I feel
we are due for another music one. Yeah,
we definitely are. Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that I won. I love the fact that I got everybody's extra points.
No, you didn't get yours.
I love the fact that you kept score, like you remember the score. And I didn't remember that that there was a score to be kept.
He just has a whiteboard in his room, like with like Cole, Mike, and Jay for like every single competition we've ever had and how many wins we each have, and he just has it tallies.
Listen, my wins are rare, and I won that one, and that makes me happy. Yeah. But yeah, I love the games that we play on this podcast sometimes.
I think that's kind of where we do our best work, actually.
Yeah. Like our the CFL football stadium battles. I love those. Yeah. Those are so fun. Some of my other favorites are, our seasonal wrap-ups.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like that this podcast has basically forced me to keep up and actually like pay attention to seasonal anime as it's coming out. Because like before I usually would just be like, I'll binge it when it's done or whatever, but now I kind of feel like I have to kind of keep up, and it's a nice feeling actually having stuff to like watch all the time.
Yeah sometimes it gets stressful. Sometimes you do hit that wall.
Actually, Cole, that brings up something funny. I remember last week when you were like, you should really watch an episode of Do It Yourself, and then you never ended up doing it. and then the next day you texted, I started Laid Back Camp.
Oh my god, Laid Back Camp. So
that's
good.
The most cold thing ever is like, I have to do this. I should do this. Instantly pivots to something else.
Oh,
that's late. Cole, I think we have that in common because I do that all the time as well.
Yeah.
Shout out to Laid Back Camp. It's so good. It's Cole. It's perfect anime for me.
I'm honestly surprised you hadn't seen it before now because
I would put money on it.
Legitimately Cole to the extreme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to go camping now.
Anyway, this is a bad time to go camping where we are because it literally just snowed like 12 inches.
Yeah, we got like a foot of snow on the ground.
We got like a ton of, so we had like a blizzard yesterday.
Yeah. Yes. Do you guys have any other things? Because I do have one more thing that I would like to say to the listeners.
Jay has something. He's wiggling his finger there.
Okay. I do have one thing. Just like when we decided to go weekly, how like we So when we first started doing the podcast, it was a bi-weekly thing. We were like, okay, we're gonna start off bi-weekly because it'll be easier on us, and then we'll go weekly. So a typical AniPro thing is we'll say we're gonna do something, and then we never do it.
100%. Yeah. Okay. I've honestly put in our podcast doc a little segment where we can put things that we say we're going to do so we don't forget them. Because like we will. We're all very forgetful.
So like we said like, okay, I remember Cole saying to me like, okay, I think we're good. I think we should start going weekly. And I think at this point Mike had already joined. So we were both like, yeah, I think we're good with this. I think we should start going weekly. And then 2 weeks go by and we record the next episode then. And we say, we should start going weekly.
Then we went weekly.
Then we did.
And then after that,
Then
we went weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's always a delay.
There's always a delay.
Yeah, it always takes a little while. And then I think like part of what made it possible to go weekly too was that we switched to recording not in person, so that Room Echo was not. We were forced. Our hands were forced by Room Echo.
Yes.
The other forgotten co-host.
Yeah.
But like I think if we were doing it in person, it'd be a lot harder to do weekly because it just adds like 2 hours onto each end of the recording, right?
Yeah.
But I think probably at this point, let's talk about what we think we bring the most to the podcast. What's your favorite thing that you bring to the podcast?
Oh no, I wasn't prepared for this.
I wasn't prepared for
I wanted
this
to
at
spring
all.
it on you. I'll go first. Okay, you got something.
No, Mike,
okay.
Mike,
you
Mike,
go.
you brought it up.
Mike,
you go first.
Go.
Okay,
you
I'll
go first.
I think the thing that I think help the podcast out with is I am a nerd and I know how computer stuff works.
Okay.
So I'm like your
behind the
built-in
scenes
tech
stuff.
support. Yeah, behind the scenes stuff. I think I'm good at that. And then the other thing is I always think shorter and quicker and like more concise is better. So that way we don't end up with 3-hour episodes where you guys are just talking about like the most minute details of something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think that's my vibe.
Wait, can we
I
go
bring
into
to the
detail
pod.
about that, Mike?
And
Yeah.
that's Jay's vibe. Everything must be the most extreme detail. Okay, what do you got, Cole? What's your thing?
Well, I edit the podcast, so I mean, round of applause for me. Thank you. Jay,
Wasn't my hands.
round of applause.
Oh, I
butt cheeks.
can't. I'll give you snaps.
Thank you. No, but seriously, I
I
do
do like 50
like-
episodes in and Jay still doesn't have a mic arm. Still holding his mic like a savage.
I like to think that I come with some takes that maybe might be a bit more unique.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I also do spend more time watching like movie reviews and stuff like that. So maybe I kind of view things from more of a cinematic point of view.
I think
Perhaps.
you're like the resident, and this is maybe the bad word for it, but snob, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
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 Whereas like I'm
No,
like the resident common man.
Yeah. No, I don't take offense to that.
Yeah.
Common man. I am the snob. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good way of putting what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Like
Maybe
you're
a
the
bit
critique.
less. Yeah. Maybe a bit less diplomatic, but I'll forgive you for it.
But it's
Jay,
good. Like you're not afraid to say what you mean or what you're thinking. You're not afraid to say something opposite. Speaking of not afraid to say what he thinks, Jay.
Yeah. Here comes Jay.
I bring the podcast down. Everything that that I do makes this podcast worse, and for that reason, I'm quitting.
Classic Jay.
Jay,
to, like,
say something good about yourself right now, or so help me God, I will beat
Yeah, I agree.
you.
I will
beat you.
I will take you out for a nice sandwich at a Jewish deli with a big frickin' pickle, and I won't let you eat any of it. I'll eat it right in front of you. If you don't say anything nice about yourself.
That's a crazy threat. I am the resident contrarian.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you are the resident contrarian.
Which is, I
it's
feel like
your
a good role.
argumentative. It's your argumentative personality.
Yeah, it is. It
Yeah.
definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good though.
The contrarian, and I know Mike kind of touched on it. You enjoy going into detail on things, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is a good thing to have somebody who is able to articulate what they're trying to say, and then Mike and I just derail you.
Yeah.
Yes. I think that's the role. And honestly, like it's good too because you have me who like I generally try to be kind of short and to the point. We have Cole who's somewhere in the middle, and we have Jay who wants to elaborate really long on everything. And I think somehow between the three of us going to battle, we end up with something pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last thing I'll say before we go into the mailbag, I think, is
The podcast?
No.
No, I already did that today.
Oh yeah, Jay already did that today. 2 more to go.
It makes me really happy thinking that I sent Jay Instagram message once to host a podcast, and now we have weekly listeners and a fairly thriving Discord.
Community?
Come join our Discord.
That's so cool.
It's sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming, but yeah, it's really nice, and I really appreciate hosting a podcast with you guys.
I think the craziest thing is like, and the moment that made me realize like that this is something substantial is when I was just looking in our Discord and there was like a conversation happening without any of the three of us participating at all.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It's very cool. We've got listeners in France, we've got listeners in the US,
Australia.
Like, and hey, we're just like sitting up here and
in cold Canada.
In cold Canada, buried in snow. But we feel the warmth of our listeners, and yes, it's very nice.
Thanks so much. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks so much for a great 50 episodes, and here's to another 50.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're done.
Yeah.
Only 50 more.
Only 50 more.
Yeah. But speaking of listeners, I think we've got a question from one.
We sure do. Let's hop into
the mailbag.
It's time for the mailbag. All right, Kratos, classic, the guy who basically like carried our mailbag for so long. Thank you, Kratos.
Thank you, Kratos.
Yeah,
Kratos.
I think it's Kratos. I started
Kratos
saying Kratos
from God of War.
Yeah, I like Kratos too, though. It's kind of
no. Isn't it Kratos?
No, I think it's Kratos.
Whatever.
It doesn't even matter.
I think he told me once because he and I are friends in real life, and he did say it is Kratos or Kratos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, Kratos and Eggs wants to know, what is an overrated waifu that the majority love but you hate? This is a spicy question, and I felt it was actually like a fitting one for a 50th episode because we love to argue about waifus, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of like classic AniPro tradition. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start off because I actually came up with a pretty good one. I'll say. Do you guys know an anime known as Steins Gate?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that Kurisu is an overrated waifu. She is like she's like in the top 10 on Annie list for characters, and I don't really see why.
Kurisu is the
Makise, the red-haired girl.
Red hair girl, yeah.
I like the other one more.
Me too.
The do one.
Yeah.
No.
She's more of a cinnamon roll.
No, I dislike her. She's annoying.
Like I think
dislike her.
I dislike her.
Oh, she's so sweet.
She's so annoying.
like Kurisu is sandwiched between on Annie list right now Kaguya Shinomiya and Mai Sakurajima. Which is like saying like how is she that high?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When like you would think that the other girl would be more popular.
Yeah. I'm not saying she's like a bad waifu or anything. I'm just saying like why is she so popular, I think, is the overrated part of this.
Yeah.
What are your guys' answers?
Jay, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna start by saying Makima because Kobeni and Power are both there.
It's true. It's a good point.
And like as a guy who hasn't read or seen Chainsaw Man and only seen a couple of clips because Cole has shown me them, Kobeni's my favorite.
That doesn't surprise me.
Kobeni's good.
Yeah.
Kobeni's good. Her car is better, but Kobeni's good.
Her car is famously the best character in the entire series, and I will hear no argument.
Remember when we had to explain to Jay, he was like, this is weird. There's this character poll, and for some reason, this car is in the top spot. And we're like, oh, yeah, it's just facts.
Yeah, it's just
factual.
It just is what
honestly,
it is. Yeah.
I say that, again, I know nothing, so I'm just playing up the meme now.
Yeah. That's a nice take. There's reasons why you know what? I'm not going to say anymore.
There's a show currently airing that might be able to explain that to me.
Not this season, that's for sure. But yeah, by the end, you'll understand.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And you know what else is kind of surprising? Ichigo's very high from Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah, Ichigo's best girl, though.
Like, yeah, but Darling in the Franxx, like, not that many people talk about Darling in the Franxx, and the people that do talk about 02.
Jay, who's your pick?
Yeah, who's the overrated
waifu?
I mean, I gave a couple. I don't have like one definitive
Oh,
pick.
okay. So you've given a couple. So your other one then was 02?
No, my other one was Ichigo.
Ichigo.
What?
So you think 02 is properly rated?
I mean,
Let's get Jay to say something bad about 02.
I don't feel anything about 02 really. Honestly, I do prefer Ichigo, but like neither of them deserve to be as high as they are on AniList, I don't think.
Well, like I like Ichigo more, but like I would say that 02 is like appropriately rated. She is popular for a reason.
The show's kind of designed to make her popular, right?
Yeah, her character design is very unique, and
she's discount Lum. I said it.
That's a bad take.
No. Her only thing is the darling, and Lum has that in spades, and it's much better.
I'd rather have 02 than Lum.
I'd much rather have Lum.
You guys are both coming in with the bad takes.
Can I just mention, actually, since Jay mentioned Makima, she is like number 13 on AniList right now between Itachi Uchiha and Guts. And just over Kakashi. That's what happened. What is going on? When did that happen?
Because the anime's on.
Yeah, it's because of the anime.
Power's not anywhere in here, though.
Yeah, because, well...
That's crazy.
Hold on, let me tell you guys my answer.
No, Power's after Mob, and in between Mob and Fushiguro.
Is she?
Yeah.
I must have missed it. Anyway, Cole, what were you going to say?
Makima.
Makima's your answer?
Overrated.
Cole,
she's hot.
High five.
She's hot, granted, but she's extremely manipulative, and when people like say like, "Oh, Makima's the best," I'm like, "What are you not seeing in this? Like, you don't even need to be spoiled. Like, even at the start of the show, she's obviously manipulating Denji."
Yeah. No, I think like that's standard.
Yeah.
But like the point is that Denji is like kind of like a rube, right? Like he doesn't know anything. He's kind of an idiot.
He's a mark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That doesn't give you a right to manipulate him.
Is this a bad time to say that Makima's my favorite of that show?
Oh, I mean, Makima's fine.
I like Makima.
Yeah, but but she's the one that's most similar to your wife, so that makes sense.
Fair.
No argument whatsoever.
Do you guys hear something? I think I hear like a question of the week coming up.
I do
like
hear
some break music.
Yeah.
Some break music and a question of the week? Whose turn is it to ask the question of the week? I believe it's Jay's.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right. In honor of our 50th episode, I will ask everyone, what is your favorite AniPro moment? Let us know in the comments below on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, our Discord, anywhere. Links can be found on our link tree. That is linktree.ee/AniProPod.
Just go out onto your rooftop and just yell out, "My favorite moment of the Anime Protagonist podcast is..."
Or go into your balcony, scream off your balcony.
I like the roof more.
Or just come to one of those things and tell us, because then we can actually hear you. But
we can hear people. I can hear people doing that.
No, I'm deaf and blind, so.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, that is true.
What do you guys say we go to
break?
I watched a documentary about all of the
that's my favorite game.
Oh, shut up, Jay. Anyway, welcome back to the Anime Protagonist podcast. We decided since it's episode 50, we're gonna talk about 3 anime each, making a 3x3 because it's easy to promote a 3x3 on social media.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about each of us 3 anime that we feel honestly, like while we were in the break here, we were like, hey, how did you guys approach this? And we all came up with completely different ways we approached coming up with our 3 anime that define us. So tune in to the rest of the episode that we're about to start talking about now. Why do you guys let me do anything on this podcast?
Tune in now, you're already tuned in.
Someone save me, please.
We're talking about. Okay, well, how about we each say how we approached our 3
idea.
anime?
Yes, let's always explain what we're doing. That's a good call.
I will graciously start by saying I approached it as 3 anime that kind of define my taste as an anime fan.
Okay.
Define my superior taste to you plebeians.
So you didn't want to let us into your personality at all. You just wanted to Here,
Well, I think it says something
like
about
resume.
my personality as well.
Okay.
I think it says something about my personality as well.
I think how we approach this altogether says something about our personality.
Yeah.
That too.
Cole,
That too.
very professional. Like I'm thinking like resume is what he did basically here. Like this is my resume as an anime fan.
Yeah.
That'd be a good topic idea in the future, actually.
That would be a good topic.
That would
we should
actually
write
be a
that
good
down.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's write that one down.
Yeah,
I'm going to write it down while Jay tells us how he approached this one.
So I approach this as kind of like a timeline in terms of like what big landmark shows were for me based off of where I was in anime fandom.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of a throwback to our original 3x3 that we did back in episode 1.
Exactly.
Yeah. Where we did 3 episodes for our early years, 3 episodes for our medium years, and 3 episodes now. But I'm assuming you're doing 1 for each one of those.
1 for each one, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And Mike, how did you approach this?
I kind of went a little more like meta and like kind of as a get to know me aspect here, like 3 anime that both mean a lot to me and kind of also say quite a bit about like my personality and what I like my taste is in anime too.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see what I mean when I get to them.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, how about we get to them
right
now?
Whoa! You actually scared me there.
That's what I
go
do.
First.
Okay. I'll go first with. How do I start this? Well,
talking.
I'll start with, of course, the obvious one that I would put on here. It's my favorite anime of all time. March Comes In Like a Lion. Yeah, it's it really scratches all of the itches for me. It's a sad boy anime, which we all know I love me my sad boy animes, but it's also it's like the mature sad boys anime. Evangelion is another sad boy anime, but like March Comes In Like a Lion is a bit more like realistic in how it depicts depression, and that it's not, some days you have good days, some days you have bad days, and it doesn't just define your whole personality.
Yeah.
Ray, the main character in it, like sometimes he's kind of silly and goofy, and sometimes he's like really down in the dumps, but he's always got that like tinge of like self-doubt and guilt. It's always there, but it's not always center stage, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I like about it is like, you said, it's a story about being a sad boy and kind of overcoming it and living with it, but that's not all it's about, right?
Yeah. It's also about, doing something that you're really good at and the struggle that comes with that. It's about family and the struggles that come with family. It's just a great anime. And of course it's from Shaft. It's gorgeous to look at. It's, dare I say, a perfect anime in my books. I know you guys disagree, but that's fine.
It's just like it has the thing like where you'll notice with me is things that are paced on the slower side, my brain just like I get bored of things really quick, and it's just a little too slow of a burn for me. But I know it's really good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it is a little slower, which for me, I can appreciate a slow burn too. Like it allows it to breathe. It's still got one of my favorite arcs in anime. The whole bullying arc in the 2nd season is just so cathartic. It's great. It's great.
No, it's just a really well done show for sure.
Yeah, and solidifies one of my favorite characters in that arc too, in Hina.
Yeah.
Great show. And that's my first pick in our 3x3. Jasif, what's your first pick?
My first pick,
your Weeblet pick.
My Weeblet pick. This is the show that got me into the anime world and community. So I'm not talking about shows that I watched as a kid. I'm talking about the show that got me into like, this is anime, and that's SAO. I mean,
I knew it.
I knew this was going to be on here.
This SAO was the first show that I ever watched, being like, okay, I'm going to watch an anime.
Right.
And I was just looking through Netflix going, okay, what's the show I'm going to watch? And I saw Sword Art Online, and it was about video games. And I, as someone who knew nothing about anime, but liked video games, that struck a chord with me. So I watched it. And young Jay really enjoyed it.
I feel like that's kind of the point of SAO, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Like, it's a lot of people's first anime, or like one of the first, and it's like good enough that if it's your first show, you're gonna really enjoy it. You know what I mean? And it does a good job of like desensitizing you to like the anime as a whole too, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, it gives you like a
tropes.
small taste of the tropes. Like you got the sister that has a crush on the main character.
You got
the harem. You got the accidental ecchi scenes. You
the
got
like very questionable scenes that make you uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, you got the over-the-top action.
You got the overpowered protagonist.
Overpowered protagonist. You got like characters running on walls like Naruto.
Yeah, isekai.
Yeah.
It's a great starter anime.
It's
yeah. And in general, I feel like SAO means a lot to this podcast as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we started this podcast, Jay and I joked about doing a podcast where we just talk about SAO episodes as they come out.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, if another SAO ever comes out as like a show, we could probably do like a reacts or something like that. That would be a cool little like mini seg. For our YouTube. And subscribe to our YouTube.
It really solidified our friendship, Jay. Every episode of SAO that came out, we would text each other and be like, "This show is so bad. I hate it. And I can't wait for next week's episode."
Yeah, like I remember just texting you and being like, "So, do you care about these two random NPC characters in love?" And you just text me back like, "No."
No, but they dedicated a whole episode to him.
Yeah.
Was that in War of the Underworld?
Yeah, that was in. Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's insane.
That
show is insane.
It's insane. And then like we'd always end our conversations with, "Can't wait for next week."
Yeah. Because it's so. Say what you got to give it up. You got to give it up to SAO. It is engaging.
Oh yeah,
it just scratches. Fun, right? Yeah. It scratches that like part of my lizard brain. I don't know, something about it. It just. I want to watch it.
Probably one of the best. Shut your brain off. I need something dumb, entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I put it kind of in the same category as another show that like. I know Jay kind of like, maybe this actually might be on your list. I don't even know, but Rent a Girlfriend kind of like feels like it's in the same category of just like, it's just like enjoyable. It's almost like, you know what I mean? Like, but
it's junk food.
It's junk food. Yeah. Junk food, the anime.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Everybody eats some junk food sometimes. You can't eat nothing but broccoli.
Yeah. Nice and bag of chips.
As a young gamer that didn't know anything about anime, a game or a show about a game that had a very interesting mechanic that probably doesn't work in practice, but in theory that seemed really cool.
Yeah.
It was a really interesting idea, and it really drew him in.
This is very timely too, because SAO just came out like a week ago or whatever, right?
It did,
in the real world. And then did you see that? Did you see that post in our Discord too of the guy who made the Oculus?
Yeah, the Oculus guy making a thing that actually kills you if you die in the game.
Yeah.
Did you see what he called it though?
No.
The Nerf gear.
Did he? Oh, that's
did he actually call it the Nerf gear? Is his name Reki?
No.
Or Akihiko?
I saw a thing where he was talking about it and he's like clearly terrified of it.
Well,
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
The implications are terrifying.
Yeah.
He described it or whatever as like, I made the helmet and it has 3 explosive charges, and I'm pretty sure this is like a direct quote, that destroy the brain of the user. And I was like, holy crap, that's intense. Destroy the brain.
That's quite a lot. That is a lot. And they also recently announced a new movie coming. I mean, like, it's SAO. A new movie
again, SAO is important to this podcast.
But
it is. Yeah, truly. Yeah.
Mikey,
tell us yours.
All right. First one that I have here, One Piece.
Oh,
very fitting because I just watched Film Red. But hear me out here, guys. One Piece has a lot of characters. I like shows and I like storytelling where the characters are first and like the mechanics and like how everything works and stuff like that is second. I want the characters to be engaging. I want to have good backstories. I want to care about all the characters. And One Piece does that better than anything. That's really the whole point of One Piece. And the other thing that really about One Piece that kind of says a lot about me too is I really like soft world building, which is kind of touched. Same thing as what I was just saying there, where like they just do stuff and then like worry about how it makes sense later, or if they don't worry about it at all, it's fine too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're really cramming that round peg into a square hole. Sorry, that was just I had to say something bad about One Piece. You can continue.
Oh, okay. I was like taken aback. I'm like, I'm not sure where to go from there.
Why is Cole so angry?
Yeah.
Cole, it's a show. Calm down.
Yeah, calm down. And then the other thing about this show that kind of ties into me is this is actually one of the shows that I think I first watched knowing full-heartedly it was an anime. if that makes sense. Like back in the day, I used to get, I would beg my mom to buy me the Shonen Jump like monthly magazines that would come out here in Canada. It was just basically like a collection of, it was basically just published Shonen Jump in English.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to read One Piece in that a lot, and it was my favorite one in the thing. And it led me to watch the 4Kids dub version on Cartoon Network back in the day, and that was something. Even little Mikey back in the day was like, something's not right here. This doesn't seem right. The One Piece rap though is a bop.
It is a secret bop, yeah.
Yeah, go back and listen to the episode where me and Jay and Shazana talk One Piece, and listen to Jay's rap of one. He covers the One Piece rap in the second half there. It's really good.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was good, but I'd still recommend watching that episode. I'm so sorry about that.
I know you like One Piece too, Jay, and I know Cole doesn't like One Piece, but
yeah, I mean, One Piece, just the amount of world building, the amount of attention to character, like all of the Straw Hats, I don't think there's any one of them that I'm like, why do they exist? I love all of them. Even like the new ones that joined like maybe like a couple years ago, like I don't know if I want to spoil anything. So
yeah, I don't spoil anything.
I'm going to stop it there.
Yeah. But yeah, like with One Piece, like again, with the film Red at the end, they have like basically a slideshow over the ending credits where they just show like characters watching the Uta's concert.
Okay.
And they have like, you know, the dude who's like stuck in the treasure chest. Do you remember that guy? There's a dude who's, maybe it's anime only. I don't know. I don't think so. I remember reading it. There's like a dude who's stuck in a treasure chest in like early One Piece, or like the cooks on the Baratier.
That's the thing about One Piece though. Like things can happen like 500 chapters back or like 3 years ago, and then like it comes up later and you're just like, who is that? Yeah. And then you have to look it up online, then you're like, oh right, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know, I just find it so memorable, and it's just like when it was doing this little slideshow of like all these people who like you haven't thought about in so long, and it was just like, I don't know, it was like a little part of me teared up inside.
Yeah. And like One Piece is one of those series that like you've grown up with because it's been around for so long, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I don't think there are many other anime out there, especially localized, that you can say you literally grew up with a show. Yeah,
I was actually thinking of that earlier. Where like, yeah, like legitimately, like I just barely predate One Piece, which is crazy.
I'm younger than One Piece.
You are younger than One Piece.
By 1 year.
We should stop talking One Piece before Cole quits the podcast. Cole, what's your second show that defines you as a human being?
No. I was letting you guys go. I was giving you lots of runway.
Oh, you gave us lots, and thank you. We'll stop now.
No, what I was gonna say is, as you were talking about One Piece, is you just reminded me of a dream I had where Michael dressed up as Luffy for Halloween once.
That wasn't a dream.
No, that actually happened. Actually,
yeah, that wasn't a dream.
That was
very. So you think it was a dream?
Yeah.
Very recent. My second is basically Mike talked about a show that has great characters, and that's more important to him than the plot or anything like that. My show is basically the opposite of that, and you'd think I'm gonna say like, oh, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Can I guess?
No. Yes.
Is it also old?
No.
I was gonna guess Ghost in the Shell.
It's close.
Okay.
Jay, would you like to guess?
Is it Akira?
No, it's Psycho Pass.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Psycho Pass. I like a show that really like
very
it's presenting
hard story building, right?
Yeah, it's presenting like a theme, right? Like it's presenting like something, like there's the plot of the show, of course. It's a whodunit kind of thing. They're trying to find a criminal, but underneath that is also like questioning the implications and how the system works, and how our system can begin to slip into that. It's just good sci-fi. You know,
like the anti-capitalist themes in One Piece?
Well, I haven't watched One Piece.
I'm bugging you.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah. But sorry, talk about Psychopaths.
Right. Psychopaths, it's all about like kind of how you can realistically think of how a surveillance state would move along. It's just good. It's just good sci-fi. And of course, like there's cool action in it. There's cool sci-fi, cyberpunk stuff in it. Yeah. In terms of like shows that define me, I think I'd put it on there just to kind of scratch that itch. It scratches the Ghost in the Shell itch that you mentioned. It scratches the Akira itch that Jay mentioned. But I feel like it's just a bit more modern.
Yeah.
And a bit more I watched it earlier in my weebdom than say Ghost in the Shell. So that's why I think that I would put that there. Also, I've rewatched it multiple times. The first season of what am I talking about? Psychopaths.
Just had a complete brain fart there.
Yeah. While I was thinking of Ghost in the Shell. But the first season of Psychopaths is just so good. Yeah. It's just a good show.
It also fits you too, because it has like that hard sci-fi vibes too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's maybe not a show like this. This is a show where Michael will fall asleep to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The characters, I couldn't care about really any of them, and the villain was like not interesting to me at all, really. So I was like,
Yeah, but that again, like that's not what it's about.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Like those kind of shows are more about the theming of it, which I really like.
It's like
same with Ghost in the Shell.
I'd say you like shows that are almost like a thought experiment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Couldn't agree with you more. It really makes me want to, like when I'm done watching, I'll still think about it, you know?
Yeah.
And think about it in the sense that like, not in the sense that, I really like that character. It's more, I want to think about like the implications that the show is making.
Yeah.
About society that we live in.
The overlying message that the show
trying to convey. Yeah, exactly.
I like that too. It's just, we like different ways of approaching that idea.
Well, it's where you rank them, right?
Yeah.
Like I just hold that at a higher
regard than
you do.
Yeah.
Like you hold characters at a higher regard than I do.
Yeah. And then, but like, one of my favorite movies is Fight Club, and that's like the whole point of watching Fight Club is at the end you're like, you think about society and people and like everything. Right.
Yeah.
Those are great. That honestly is like a hallmark of a great show, as it makes you think more about things outside the show.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And that's what sci-fi does well. And that's what this show is kind of encompassing for me in my three shows. Is this tells you that I like those type of shows and sci-fi and that aesthetic as well.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is such a cool, such a cool aesthetic to me.
Yeah.
Jay, please.
So we're going to continue on my little timeline of shows. And after SAO, I really got into anime and started watching just a ton of dubs. I remember watching Parasite, Akame ga Kill, and just a ton of different shows. And there was always that one show that people kept telling me to watch. The dub hadn't come out, but it was on its way. And I was adamant about waiting for the dub until one day I finally cracked and decided, you know what? I'm just going to watch the sub. I'm sick of waiting for it. So I turned on a certain website and I started watching Your Lie in April.
Pornhub. Nice. Your Lie in April.
Your Lie in April. I mean, the poor man's March comes in like a lion.
Like, this scratches the itch of the sad boy that Cole likes. And also the great characters that Mike likes.
Yeah. No, that's actually a great take, Jay. Great take.
Yeah,
Jay.
I threw shade at your show, and honestly, I do like Your Lie in April.
Your Lie in April.
Sorry, I just about said March comes in like a lion instinctively.
Yeah. I feel like, Cole, you're just like instinctively a bit of a hater. So like,
no, I'm not. I'm not a hater of the show.
I do mean in general. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, like to throw shade.
Yeah. No, Cole just hates the show and he doesn't like my take, and that's fair.
I like, you know what? Your Lie in April kind of did for me, where like it revealed to me that like anime. It was one of the first shows I watched. And I think this is probably what it is for a lot of people too, where it's one of the first shows you watch and you realize, oh, anime doesn't have to be about just like guys fighting giant monsters or like superpowers, or you know what I mean? Like it shows you that shows can have emotion in ways that aren't just like, I must overcome my weaknesses and you know what I mean?
Yeah. This show opened the door to the ongoing joke we have of I had to stare at a wall for a few minutes.
Yeah. We need to come up with a better like name for that, but yes, it for sure is one of those shows.
Like after that show ended, it was like, man, like anime can be something that you can like recommend to people as just a thing
at the water cooler. Yeah,
like I remember watching it, and I'm like, I
have to tell somebody about this. Yeah,
I told my sister, I'm like, you need to watch this show. It's incredible. She's never watched it.
I was going to say, yeah.
No.
And I feel
but
like
I told her.
I feel like an easier sell would have been a silent voice. I feel like that's an easier sell to people. But Jay,
especially because it's a movie. It's
it's
a much easier watch. But like, I just remember watching, I think it was episode 10, and I finished the episode and I just got up and I just like was like, I got to go take a walk. I got to think about this for a minute.
Like you went and stole a walk from a grocery store?
Yeah. No, I committed theft. Yes.
Okay. You had to take a walk.
Yeah. No, I went for a walk and I just like put on some music and started thinking about it. And like, that's the thing about this show. It's because it is a music show, it works so much better as an anime than it does manga. And like the music in and of itself really emphasizes, or like not emphasizes, that's not the word enhances the experience of the feelings that the characters are going through. And so
it's like a way to emote what they're saying and how they're feeling.
Yeah, so like I remember while I was on that walk putting on songs that I thought really related to the thoughts and feelings that the characters were feeling and thinking, and that's the show that really got me to start feeling that way. And I still do it now, whether I'm reading manga, light novels, or anything. I'll always like put on music that that like I think can relate to how the characters are feeling, or a thing that they're going through at a certain time. And it really came from Your Lie in April.
No, Your Lie in April's great.
It's great.
Like,
it's a really good show.
Anime. And I don't mean to harp on the comparison between the two shows, but I do
get the comparison though.
I really like, you love Your Lie in April, and for good reason. I really think you need to give March Comes In Like a Lion another chance.
I think probably the thing here actually is you guys can learn something about each other here. They're the kind of the same show done two different ways.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And one of them is more Jay and one of them is more Cole, if that makes sense.
They're written for different audiences.
Yeah.
Your Lie in April is a shonen anime.
Yeah.
And March Comes In Like a Lion is a seinen anime.
Oh, this is Cole's way of saying Jay's a little baby.
Jay's a little baby, and I'm a big, strong man.
I'm a man.
The thing I will say, though, I haven't seen Your Lie in April in some time.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
Let's get real here.
Rewatch it.
I said that, and I didn't mean that as like a throwing shade at Jay. We're all talking about cartoons here. Let's get real.
No,
we're all babies.
Cole,
we're all little babies.
Look, I get it. You like throwing shade at me. I get it. You don't need to explain it.
No. Let me defend myself. They're just written for two different audiences. I love shonen anime.
Yeah.
You love shonen anime. Mike loves shonen anime. We all love shonen anime. You like seinen anime.
Yeah.
Mike likes seinen anime. I do too. They're just written for two different. They're tackling the same issues just from different perspectives.
Yeah.
See, I remember when I was talking about how I just like to lob a little like gasoline bomb on the fire there. That's exactly what I just did there. Yeah.
No, that's what we needed, Mike. That's what we needed.
Yeah. Mike, what's your second show?
My second show that defines me and my taste in anime. It's a 12-episode show.
Okay.
I think it's by Studio Madhouse.
Okay.
There's
Is it Death Parade
involved in it. There's a parade involved in it. There's some singing and dancing involved in it. It's very heady. It makes you really think about things. It's called Death Parade.
Ooh.
This show I quickly swapped it out actually. I wasn't originally going to put it on my list, but the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? That show really does kind of sum up what I like in shows a lot. Like it quickly and concisely tackles themes and makes you think. In each episode there's something like each episode kind of stands on its own, so you don't really need to like, there's an overarching thing, but at the same time each one is stand on its own. It's a good episode, so you don't really, for my short little attention span, I can easily digest it, and still after every episode you kind of like do that little stare at a wall thing where you're kind of like, man, that's something to think about.
And
then it has a bang and OP, which is like, as soon as I say the name Death Parade, all I can think of is Flyers by Bradio, which has been, I think, mentioned on every episode for like the past couple of weeks. But it's so good, right? I could just hear in my head the guy going, whoa. That was a really bad version of it, but whatever.
Cole, make that the cold open.
Yeah, let's clip that.
Let's clip that. Oh, wow. That was not a good job by me. But yeah, I don't know. This is just a really good show. And like, I just think when I watch this show, if I recommend it to somebody, I feel like I'm recommending it to myself almost. Like it's something that really screams me, and like this is what I like. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, this is another one of those shows that I haven't seen in a long time, but I do remember it was very good. And one of the scenes later on the show is like a very good example of show don't tell.
Yeah, that's what I really like in shows. Like thank you for bringing that up, Jay. Yeah, I like a lot of show don't really explain. Yeah,
and I mean that's the best way specifically for shows to convey exposition is showing the viewer what's going on rather than
which
them.
Often anime in general has a tough time doing. Anime loves spouting exposition.
Absolutely.
Huge plot dumps.
So that's really a plus in a show if they can properly convey exposition without somebody just explaining it to you.
Yeah.
That's
Death Parade does that very well. And it's almost, and another thing about this show that I think kind of says a lot about me too is I really like a mystery because I love solving problems. And there's kind of like an air of mystery over Death Parade. Like the whole time there's things you can think about. You're like, I wonder what this means. I wonder what's going on here. And yeah, I just really like that in shows where like it gives you things to think about from like a philosophical level, but it also gives you things to like think about and question from like just a meta about the show level too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Watch Death Parade.
I haven't seen it.
I think we're going to review it fairly soon if I had to guess.
We probably should.
I might be up next for reviewing or picking a show to review.
I think Jay's up next, and we've already got that lined up.
Yeah.
So sorry,
right.
Mike.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, watch Crest of the Stars, people.
A hint.
Just a hint.
Just a hint.
Yeah, it's coming up.
I guess that's our announcement for our next...
Yeah, we should really start telling people to watch these shows before we review them. But yeah. Oh, anyway. Cole, tell us about your last show that defines you as a human being.
This one's tough. This one was tough because there's two shows that I could put in here. And I'll start with the one that didn't make the cut, I think. And that's K-On! K-On! To me is so nostalgic in the sense that it really reminds me of my time in high school as well. No, that's not my actual pick. Oh, okay. Mike's making notes in our doc here.
I'm making notes to make the YouTube video edit easier.
Yeah. This show's so nostalgic for me because of the time that Mike and I spent in high school playing in bands, which was a lot of fun.
On a guitar.
Yeah, but the whole point that I really like about it is that it's not really about the music; it's more about the friends that you have. You know.
Yeah.
But this isn't the show that I picked because I went with another show that I think kind of scratches my romantic itches that I'm looking for in shows. And it's a show that I watch every year around Christmas, which is the ultimate Christmas anime. We talked about it at Comic-Con when we were there a few weeks ago.
Die Hard.
No, Toradora. Toradora, the ultimate Christmas anime.
Die Hard.
Toradora for me is kind of the antithesis to, do you like that? Antithesis?
That's a big word.
The antithesis to Psycho-Pass, where it is really carried by the characters. And it's just a unique take on romance in how they think, the two mains think that they need to go after a different person, which is kind of their idealized version of romance. Meanwhile, they have a good, solid relationship with each other, and they just don't realize that that's where they need to take that. That's how relationships are formed, and sometimes it's not all about the fairy tale romance. It's about comfort with each other, which is more important. Yeah, Toradora is beautiful. I love Toradora.
Yeah, it's kind of like an anti-Disney Cinderella story type thing, right? Like
it really is. Yeah,
it doesn't like slap you in the face with it, but yeah, when you really think about it, it kind of like goes against all of that stuff. Like it shows that like real romance is kind of messy and like doesn't really make sense. And yeah,
it's kind of messy and doesn't make sense, but it also is often just right there in front of you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a spoiler because I mean like the first lines in the show are basically saying this is how it ends. But yeah, like it's the two mains are perfect for one another. They complement each other well, but they still try and pursue the fairy tale relationship, and it's all about coming to terms and realizing that that's not maybe what you need. Jay, what do you think of Toradora?
I don't like Toradora.
Ooh, contrarian.
Yeah, Jay, have you finished Toradora?
I did finish Toradora, yeah.
And what didn't you like about it? Like what turned you off?
I don't know. I just like I didn't really feel the relationship between Taiga and Ryuji that well. I don't know. Like it just the chemistry never felt important to me, and like I get that might be the point, but like I feel like the point if they're trying to say like you know the best romances aren't always the fairy tale endings, despite the fact that they don't have fairy tale chemistry, they should at least still have like some kind of chemistry.
I think they do.
I think they have terrific chemistry.
Yeah.
I never got that.
There's one scene in Toradora that I always think of where they're at the lake house or at the beach house.
Yeah.
And they're both like scared of that ghost or whatever. And they're both sitting on the couch and they're sitting like very close to each other, and Taiga's like, you know, like, isn't it weird? Like, I'm sitting right here. Meanwhile, there's all of these different seats I could be sitting at. Why did I choose to sit here? And it's like, come on, you know why. You guys just are perfect for each other.
That's like the believable part of it too, is like sometimes you don't you don't know what you know. You know what I mean? Like, or yeah, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's like obvious when you look back at it.
Yeah, it's a little slap you in the face with like what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
But it's so, I think that defines their chemistry perfectly, is they're just kind of resistant to one another because they want
their
idealized version.
This is based off of my memory of like a couple years ago. Again, this is another show I haven't watched in a while, and it's because I wasn't really like high on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just remember not liking their chemistry as much as I did the other characters. So,
which that could be just a personal thing too.
It might just be
about here
a personal thing.
Is what does that say about you two as people?
Yeah.
I think
it means Cole and I are destined to fight.
Yes, I think the chemistry with the other characters are a bit more entertaining in the zany sense. Like,
okay, like more anime, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where the other ones are like Ryuji and Taiga are very,
it's more grounded.
Very toned down. Which I would be curious if you rewatched it after, like, you and I have had this conversation a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested in you rewatching it now, thinking about the things that we've talked about. Like, maybe you'd have a different appreciation for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, again, when I never really mentioned this. When I first watched Toradora, I never really, like, thought about story or characters or anything. It was more just, like the casual viewer shutting your brain off and just enjoying the show. So maybe now that I actually do pay attention to story and characters and things like that, maybe I'll have a different appreciation for it. But
I'd be curious. Maybe I'll force you guys to watch this.
Maybe an AniPro hangout to watch this show is in order.
It's like 8 hours of watching a show, Jay.
And what's your point?
Perfect.
Oh. Yeah. I know Cole's up for it.
Jay.
This is not the Toradora podcast. We need to talk about
my next show.
Not anymore, anyway.
Yeah. My next show. I kind of had the same dilemma as Cole. I was struggling between two shows. They were both like kind of around the same time, and I was trying to think of which one I wanted to talk about. This is more of like the modern Jay.
Quince.
Neither of them were Quince. But I guess I will give Quince an honorable mention because it is one of the shows that really got Cole and I to be friends.
Yes. Honorable mention.
Yeah. So I think it deserves a mention. But the two shows, the show that I almost picked was Gintama, and that's just because like it has some of the greatest characters that I've seen, and like they all feel like they have very defined and well-defined flaws on top of what make them entertaining, and I think that is really interesting, as well as the fact that the comedy and the parts that really make you laugh really make you get to like and empathize with them by the time the drama comes around. So I really wanted to say that one is, but there was one show that snuck in and just like really made me want to talk about it more. And
Did you cry?
I cried when I finished it.
Okay.
It's a 12-episode show. It's a show that I don't think Mike has seen, but I forced Cole to watch it.
Yeah.
And it's...
Will he reveal it in the next minute? Let's find out.
It's ReLife.
Oh, no, I haven't seen the show.
Yeah. ReLife was the first manga that I ever read. And that's because it was on Crunchyroll's manga app, so I just started reading it, and it was the first thing that made me go, so this is manga.
Manga.
This is
let's be real. You said manga.
Newfangled comic book.
Yeah.
And like at the time I started watching or reading ReLife, I was one of the only people in my graduating class that like didn't really have a direction on where I wanted to go, and that was like right in line with the protagonist, Kaizaki, who like was kind of like in between jobs. He didn't know, like he didn't really have anywhere while his friends were like off and successful. And he got, and basically the premise of the show is he gets an opportunity to relive his high school days, to relearn what youth is about. And the thing I love about it is like all the characters, at least all the main characters, feel like so well defined in their struggles, and like they all have relatable struggles, whether it be like their high school issues or like the adults in the show have their own adult issues that they're dealing with. And it really struck a chord with me, even as someone who still didn't have much of like an active brain or an active like
Jay, you do have a very inactive brain.
So inactive. It's like
as someone who didn't have like
you set us up for that. You set us up for that. That's your own fault.
Yeah, no, that is my own fault. But like as someone who wasn't as much of an active viewer or reader back in the day, it's still like I really resonated with the characters, and I resonated with the story that was being told. So I have to put it on here because it just means so much to me.
I feel like you watched this show at the right time. When I watched it, it's a good anime. For sure, but I felt like I don't think it meant as much to me as it does to you.
Yeah.
It sounds like you'd give it like what, a solid like 9.
I gave the manga a 10.
I was waiting for a 10. I knew it would be a 10.
Yeah, the manga I gave a 10. The anime I'd give it probably a 9.
Yeah. For me, it was like a high 7, 8 kind
of
thing.
Cole
like
probably,
it's good.
I think you probably nailed it there. It's probably one of those shows where like, yeah, it meant it. You hit it at the exact right time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's good. Like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing
Cole just
your
disses
show.
every one of my shows.
I'm not dissing your show. It's a good show. But I just want to give that caveat for people when they watch it and they're like, this wasn't life-changing for me, like Jay said it would be. Now I need to sue the podcast.
Well, you know what, Cole? I think that what Jay was saying and the feelings that Jay talked about there are probably pretty common among anime fans, honestly. Like the feeling of like not belonging and not knowing where you're going and stuff. That's just like classic teen stuff, right? So
yeah.
That is true.
It resonates probably with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. I have to remember that not everybody is
not everyone's
old, elderly
30.
senior citizen like me.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna be 31 in a month, guys.
That is scary. But
Yuck.
like, I mean, honestly, just give ReLife a shot. It's not just like teen issues that it goes through, but it does tackle pretty adult things as well.
No, it really does. I'd say that it tackles more adult things than teen issues.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes you realize that, it's the classic, like, teens got it rough just like adults do. And the things that they deal with are very adult. And yeah. Like the things that teens will deal with are
pretty
things
adult.
that adults will deal with as well. Yeah, give it a watch. Go watch it.
Go
It's
watch
Jay's
ReLife.
favorite anime of all time. He's told me that.
It's my favorite manga of all time.
no, what was the one he rated at 10? Guilty Crown.
Guilty
Crown.
Yeah.
Guilty Crown is his number one anime.
Honorable mention to Guilty Crown, a show I do not remember anything about.
Yeah, just that you loved it so much that it'd be a 10. My last show that we'll talk about here, and thank you for leaving me the final floor, the final stage to finish the show.
You're welcome.
We're going to talk about an anime I've talked about before on the podcast.
Okay.
It's Kaguya-sama.
I can't wait to tear your anime limb from limb.
Oh, I hope you do, because it actually kind of deserves it a little bit.
Okay.
But this show awakened something in me.
Oh, okay.
It awakened the love of the romance and shoujo genre.
Oh, it's Fruits Basket.
It awakened the love of cat hair furry creatures. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Mike's a furry confirmed.
Yeah, confirmed.
Am I the only non-furry on the podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get you.
Yeah,
we'll get you.
It's
Don't
a
worry.
virus. It'll get you. It showed me that cartoons at the time were not all just silly slapstick gags and stuff like that, and that they could have like deeper like romance and stuff like that, and it didn't have to be as silly, and that they could, spoiler alert, be from other countries than America. This show,
I think I know what it is.
kept me up late at night when I'd watch it as a little boy.
Oh.
When that ED came on, and it
Isn't
was
he a dog
fire.
person?
Yeah, dog person. That's why I got so confused when I said cat. It's Inuyasha. I love Inuyasha, but it is old and whatever. But again, kind of going back to it, I love that, like, I'm a sucker for like very like feudal Japan's type stuff. Like I do love Japan just as a whole. You know what I mean? Like I think the culture is super interesting. I love like the I don't know exactly what it is, but the show just kind of like tackles all that. And kind of like what Jay said with the last show there, ReLife, it just kind of hit at the right time. You know what I mean? Where like if I just watch this show like on my own now, and I didn't have any nostalgia factor for it, I don't know if I would enjoy it at all. But like at the time, this show legitimately was like one of the best things I've ever seen. And it definitely taught me that like not anime could be things other than just Dragon Ball Z and Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's an important thing in an anime fan's life, is watching that show that really like makes you realize that, there's anime can do different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. I'm glad that Mike went ahead and picked Inuyasha, because when Jay said Kaguya-sama, I got worried. And when Jay said Fruits Basket, I got worried, because I'm like, now I got to tear these shows.
Yeah.
I got to tear these shows apart. But then Mike went and picked Inuyasha. And let me tell you, boys, I got a lot to say about Inuyasha.
Ring the bell, baby.
No, I got nothing to say about Inuyasha. I've never seen it. All three of Mike's shows, Mike, I think, on purpose picked 3 shows that I haven't seen.
No, actually, I did. Trust me, you know me so well that you know for sure I didn't even think about if you've seen them.
No, I know you didn't.
Yeah.
All right, can I tear Inuyasha limb from limb then?
If it's quick, sure. We're running
okay. That's the problem with Inuyasha. It runs on way too long, and it doesn't have complete substance all the way through.
Oh, well, Jay, I would think that you would love that show then.
Here's the thing though, like I don't think
Jay just straight faced, gang, like just no smile.
All.
He's just
did not like that
I
at
hate
all.
you.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding, Jay. We tease here on AniPro.
No, but like you're only doing it to me. You're not doing it to Mike.
He just
did.
did.
I did to Mike.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Jay, it's okay. We'll
think
discuss this off air.
I think we should all quit the podcast.
Yeah, I think 50 episodes is enough.
Yeah. So why don't we go into telling people where they can find us?
Oh, I thought you got to talk about your show, Michael.
I did talk about
your
it.
show.
Oh, are you done talking about your show?
I'm done talking about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well then, thank you for listening to the final episode of Anime Protagonist Podcast.
Yeah.
No, don't say that.
No, I'm kidding. We'll be back next week.
No.
You can follow us, AniPro, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. At AniProPod, that's ANIPROPOD. You can follow me personally at AniProCole, that's ANIPROCOLE. Joseph, my good friend who I do not hate. I love you, Jay. What's your Twitter?
He's so salty.
You can follow me at JGardian, JayGardian, and Mike. Where can they find you, my good friend?
You can find me at... That was very spicy. You can find me at Gritty Gundam, GRITTYGUNDAM.
The rage in this episode.
Jay's
is
very
real.
angry with us. We will defuse that bomb off air.
Off air, yes. Like, review, subscribe, no matter where you're listening to us, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast,
Stitcher FM.
Yes, of course. Stitcher FM.
Podcast Addict.
Yes, leave a review, like, subscribe, like I said. And tell a friend, that helps us out. And come to our Discord, that also helps us out. We will need help diffusing Jay's rage.
Come to the Discord and tell Jay how you agree with his takes. It make his day.
Yes, yeah.
And tell me how stupid I am.
Don't patronize me.
We should stop. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. Links to all of our stuff is at our link tree. That's linkter.ee/AniProPod. And we will be back next week. But until we come back next week, possibly, we say as we do at the end of every episode of the Anime Protagonist podcast, bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye.